Welcome back to another story time. This one is something that I made up about a place in Puebla, Mexico, and I hope you enjoy it. The night was moonless, the kind of darkness that seemed to swallow the valley whole. From his patio just north of Atlixco, Pedro leaned back in his chair, eyes fixed on the rise of Fuerte de Loreto. The hill loomed against the sky, its outline revealed only when sudden flashes of light burst across it, brief, unnatural glimmers that danced before the storm. Clouds rolled heavy and low, their bellies split by jagged streaks of lightning. The air smelled of rain and ozone, sharp and electric. Vengan, niños, Pedro called, his voice steady but low, carrying the weight of something older than the storm. His grandchildren shuffled closer, their small faces lit in fragments by the flickering sky. Pedro raised a weathered hand and pointed toward the hill. The lights pulsed again, eerily deliberate, as though answering his gesture. ¿Saben lo que significan esas luces? He asked, his tone half a whisper, half challenge. The children leaned in, hushed, waiting for the story to begin. Pedro's voice dropped lower, almost swallowed by the rumble of thunder. Dicen que esas luces no son del cielo, he began, his eyes never leaving the hill. Son los fuegos de los espectros que guardan un tesoro enterrado en las entrañas del Loreto, oro y plata escondidos desde tiempos de guerra, cuando hombres desesperados enterraron su riqueza y nunca regresaron. He paused, then added, but even before the French, long before the cannons thundered here, the Nahua people spoke of strange fires on that hill. They said the earth itself was alive, that Loreto was a mouth, and the lights were its teeth, shining to lure the greedy closer, so the hill could swallow them whole. The storm cracked, and Pedro's voice grew heavier. Some say it was the gold of ancient kings, but the true story is much closer. It was the gold of Napoleon's Foreign Legion, brought by the invading French army in 1862. The officers, arrogant and certain of their victory, entrusted it to a young, frightened drummer boy and a wounded captain. They hid it deep beneath the fort, just hours before the rout. The captain died by his own hand, but the boy was so burdened by the secret and his failure to save the gold that his spirit could never leave the hill. And tonight, when you see those lights, sometimes you can hear a faint, sad tapping along with the thunder. That is the drummer boy of Loreto, forever tapping on the wall that holds the gold. A prisoner of his secret, trying to signal the treasure, but doomed to lead no one to it. The children pressed closer, their small hands clutching at his sleeves. Pedro's gaze darkened. He hesitated, then spoke more quietly, as if confessing. Les voy a decir algo que nunca he contado. When I was young, I too was foolish to follow those lights. I wasn't alone. 3 of my closest friends went with me. We thought ourselves braver than the old stories. Lightning split the sky, and his voice trembled with memory. We climbed the hill, and the lights led us to the mouth of the cave. Inside, the air was colder than the night itself, and then we saw it, a figure pale as bone, with eyes burning like coals. It moved without sound, but when it turned towards us, the cave filled with a wind that screamed. The children gasped. My friends ran. One stumbled in the dark, and I heard his cry as he fell from the cliffside. The rest of us escaped, but we were never the same. For years we woke in the night, hearing that wind, seeing those eyes, and I swore I would never again follow the lights of Loreto. He straightened, his voice regaining its weight. Pero no crean que ese oro está solo, Pedro warned. Los muertos que lo enterran siguen allí espíritus sin descanso, con ojos como brasas, vagan por la ladera, a veces se dejan ver como sombras entre los relámpagos y a veces encienden esas luces para engañar a los vivos. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. And it's not only me. In my father's time, a farmer chased the lights, swearing he would bring back silver for his family. They found his mule days later, still tied to a post, but the man was gone. During the revolution, soldiers camped on that hill said that they heard the drum at night beating faster and faster until one of them went mad and shot into the darkness. And even in our own time, families who spoke too boldly of the treasure found sickness and misfortune at their doors. The curse does not stay on the hill, it follows those who tempt it. Another flash hit the hill, and the storm seemed to echo his words. Muchos hombres han seguido esas luces, Pedro continued, his voice tone heavy with finality. Algunos nunca volvieron, otros regresaron con la mirada vacía, murmurando cosas que nadie entendía. La codicia los llevó a la locura, el tesoro no quiere ser encontrado. He paused, letting the silence stretch, broken only by the distant growl of thunder. So remember, niños, he said at last, his voice a whisper sharp as the wind. Cuando vean esas luces, no las sigan, porque lo que brilla en la oscuridad del Loreto no es para los vivos.